are you this morning? Maybe you're not 100%. Maybe you need a little cheering up. Well, that's kind of what this channel is about. It's about helping fellow travelers get a boost, go up higher, ascend spiritually, reach loftier heights, draw closer to the Creator. This morning I'm taking a look at a use of the word Sheol, and there are numerous translations of the Bible that I like, that I prefer. Here on the Blue Letter Bible, which has numerous different translations, I tend to opt for the Revised Standard Version. I can't really say why. It seems to be a pretty good literal translation in modern English. I'm certainly not saying that the Revised Standard Version is the best version, and I'm not saying that it's without its flaws, but that's what I'm using, at least this morning. So the passage we're covering is 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6 and I think also verse 7, where it says the Creator kills, and there the Creator's personal sacred name is used. And there's a lot of debate about how that name is pronounced, whether it should be pronounced. I just prefer to mask it with the words "the Creator," because that expresses the roots of the name, meaning that He causes to be. He's the first cause of the universe. So the Creator kills and brings to life. He brings down to Sheol and He raises up. So there's at least one denomination, the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, that makes an effort to identify Sheol as a place. And I'm not completely sure that Sheol is a place, like a place having geographical measurements, or a place having volume. I think it's possible that Sheol is just kind of a metaphor for the where the dead are, at least physically. But there could be passages which seem to contradict that. I just find it very curious that in Orthodox Judaism, where there are rabbis who know the Hebrew Tanakh very well, that is what Christians often call the Old Testament, but not the Christian Old Testament, because it is in Hebrew, and it has been held in possession by the Jewish community and not the Christian community. So that's what I'm referring to when I speak about the Hebrew Tanakh. You know, that's the prophets, excuse me, the law, the writings, and the prophets. That makes up the abbreviation of the of Tanakh, that Hebrew word. It's kind of an abbreviation, like NASA for, I believe it's the National Aeronautical and Space Administration, if I remember correctly. So so I'm not being dogmatic in saying that Sheol is an actual place. But one thing that's clear about Sheol is that it's the opposite of ascending closer to the Creator. The Creator kills or unalives. You know, YouTube has restrictions. I'm not sure if this video will just be on YouTube. I may be uploading to Rumble also. But YouTube doesn't like that word, and uploading content to YouTube is becoming pretty daunting to a lot of users because of all the many somewhat what's the word, stringent regulations and rules. So I'm almost forced to say the Creator unalives and brings to life. He brings down to Sheol and he raises up. Now, that word translated raises up in Hebrew, that is, to me it looks like Allah. Now, I can pronounce Hebrew from the text, but I'm not going to say that my pronunciation is perfect, because there are people that are much better and much more precise than I am in their pronunciation of Hebrew. But I just wanted to point that out because this is sort of the word that is the theme of this channel, to make an ascent. I'm pretty sure that this is the root for the word aliyah, which is an ascent, to go up, or to make an ascent. Like any, and you'll see this throughout the Hebrew Tanakh, any travel towards the most holy place in the temple, even apparently before the temple was even raised, is seen as an ascent, and it happens in steps. You know, there's more than one ascent to get there. But I wanted to show that this word does mean ascend. Also, Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 49, ascend this mountain, and then the word is the same. Hebrew Strong's number 5927, Allah, and here it's translated go up or ascend. So we can close that. So then it continues in verse 7. The Creator makes poor and makes rich. He brings low. He also exalts. Sometimes you'll see that word translated exalt. Let me see if it's the same word here in the interlinear. No, it's not. Okay. But at least in English, exalt is similar to the idea of being raised up. And I would say that this is clearly a parallel, because poverty can kill or unalive, and wealth can really help a person's life to be enriched. It's just a fact of the matter, you know. I'm not like pushing the superiority of being wealthy, but in the Hebrew Tanakh, wealth is fairly well seen as a indicator of the Creator's blessing. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some drawbacks and curses that come with wealth, but I think most people would be happy if they could reach a level of prosperity where they didn't have to be so anxious about their daily needs, right? So, I mean, there's the expression, or I don't know, the phrase, expression, filthy rich. And it's usually spoken by people who aren't rich. There's a tendency for people to see prosperity as part and parcel or hand in hand with corruption and immorality. But I think that's largely up to the person who is wealthy. So, now the aim of this channel is not to show you how to become wealthy. The aim of this channel is to help you gain a more enriched life that is blessed by the Creator with good things, but more importantly, to help you reach the level of spirituality that you personally aspire to, so that you experience the same contentment and lack of anxiety in your relationship with the Creator as the formerly poor person who attains a level of financial security experiences, where they are no longer so anxious for their daily needs. Now, some say that the person who is anxious about their spiritual needs, I think I heard this from Jay's Witnesses, as a translation, I think, of one of the Beatitudes in the Christian scriptures. You know, their suggestion is that it's a good place to be anxious about your spiritual needs, and I'm not going to argue against that either. But what I'm talking about is if you feel like you're in need of something, like you're not getting enough truth from whoever it is you've turned to in the past, or whatever books you've turned to help you along, if you feel that those sources are just not delivering, then I hope to be able to help you acquire what you want in your relationship with the Creator. So, again, the passage for today: the Creator unalives and brings to life, He brings down to Sheol, and He raises up. The Creator makes poor and makes rich, He brings low, He also exalts. So I hope that you'll keep watching, and that together we can reach loftier heights in our relationship with the Creator.